Okay, so for my project, I chose the theme mythology on the scientific revolution. I felt as though this theme had a major impact when it came to the scientific revolution by showing observation, historic experiments, and mathematics. The chapter of the scientific revolution has also shown a variety of examples of historic developments and observations during this time. So I thought it was like an important theme because it shows a lot of like the development and there's a lot of examples in the scientific revolution that come with the mythology and observation. So I chose the PowerPoint app because I felt as though it was going to be like the best one to input all my information and all my thoughts into. And PowerPoints are easy to me. They are easy to help like get me to put all my information in each slide, and I feel like that like PowerPoints are easier for the audience to see. Like it's very clear and understanding and well put together. So that's why I chose a PowerPoint. For my sources, my first one that I chose to talk about was Isaac Newton because his theory I thought had a major impact when it came to like the mathematics part of it and the development. So Newton developed the 3 laws of motion, which had formed the basic principles of modern physics and helped classical mechanics. Newton had also invented calculus, and this was a powerful, like, important impact on the mathematics part of the scientific revolution, and his method helped with like mechanics and all that in the ongoing future. Another source that I chose to talk about was Caroline Herschel because she was the first woman to discover a comet, and she was officially recognized in a scientific position. So I thought that was really like important because she made a mark basically in the astronomy and what it came to, and it was cool to like read about and see how she was the first person to do it. Another source that I chose to talk about was the film Hidden Figures. I chose to talk about this film because it talks about mathematicians, researchers, and engineers. It talks about human rights and how colored people are struggling with equality in workplaces. And I thought that it had a lot of mythology in it because it talked about like the history of it, and it talked about the observations, like seeing what the people had gone through. Another source that I decided to talk about was Kranzberg's 6 Laws of Technology, and I thought they had an impact on history and observation on the technology. His 6 laws helped show us if technology is neither good, bad, or neutral. The idea of his laws also talks about the history of technology and how it shaped us as a society, and I feel like some of his laws are still very valid today, such as with the whole pandemic and the whole virus going on, a lot of us believe certain theories on it, and people believe others. Nobody's really sure of like what the truth is about the virus, but we're all like trying to be safe and healthy with that. So after completing my project, I learned a lot about STS that made me feel all types of different ways. I was surprised to see how much of an impact the concept of mathematics and astronomy had on the scientific revolution. It seems like it was obviously a really major point in this point in time. And it was super interesting to learn about the films that we watched, like War Games and Hidden Figures and all that. I thought they like had very strong messages in all of them. And with the film Hidden Figures, it gave me a sense of frustration because it was hard to see how the people of color struggled for equality in their work areas, and I think I felt frustrated by this because it is still happening today. People are still struggling with their color working in workplaces, and it gives you, it's like a reality film. So I thought it was really like interesting to see, and I enjoyed the modules talking about like the electricity in the 18th century, like with Tesla. It was really interesting to see all the cool inventions he did, and I also enjoyed uh, the book "Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep?" because, like I said, like all of them had different, like their own little different stories to them, and it made it like super interesting to like understand and think about, because before this whole like class I wasn't really like sure on like, you know, like technological developments and all that, like when it came to technology and science, but like I learned a lot in this class and I thought it was like super interesting. But yeah, so that's what I did for my project.